And we're back. We got in this morning from our 2-day trip.
Yeah, and as 2 days go, this one was just about as good as it could get. Good weather, good fishing, good people.
Yeah, pretty much throughout the day and night, it was super calm, like you can see. We were able to fish both sides of the boat.
Yeah, which kind of led to some problems. There wasn't much wind for the drift, which helped us get our knife jigs and stuff down there, but it also led to quite a few tangles that you guys will see.
Yeah, it was one of the worst, some of the worst tangles I've ever seen.
Yeah, but we did have some good anglers like Kenny here. You can see his technique is pretty darn perfect using the rail. He's using his legs to bend down. He's making that rod kick. As the fish went under the boat, he stood up and got the rod tip low to the water to pull it back out.
Yeah, this clip right here is just a work of art, so great job, Kenny. Big
Yeah,
fan.
anybody that's wondering how to use a rail rod, he's doing it perfect right here. When the fish gets under the boat, he's standing up, pulling it back out. And when it gets out, he's getting a good lift right here
Look at
for the
that
gaff.
lift, yeah.
Yeah, he laid it out perfect for the guys.
That lift was awesome and able to land it. It looks like it was on a knife jig there with some pink and also some glow in the dark. But we saw, I mean, Steve actually got bit on a sinker, a rigged up sinker, so.
Yeah, it was pretty instant on it. I don't think the color mattered. It was really good fishing.
Right.
There's you fighting a fish on your seeker.
Yep, trying to get over everybody.
Yeah, and we landed tons of fish the second night. The first night was good. But the second night it was crazy. Everybody on the boat was bit at one point.
And it was really cool too to see some of the guys that were less experienced really learn and was able to be coached. Like this guy right here in the red jacket. I mean, he really learned how to sort of put his legs into it, lift the rod, and I think he was able to land this fish eventually.
Yeah, it takes a run here, and he does a good job not panicking. Right here, we got another guy. He's not using the rail. He's feeling tough right here, but that's fine if you can work it and you can keep on getting that fish up. You just can't lay on the fish and let him dictate the fight.
Right, it's all about the angle from the end of your rod to where the fish is.
Right, and that guy right there, you can see he was pumping it, and then when the fish was up and down, started using the rail. So
Right.
we had some definite growth in the anglers on this trip.
Yeah, and you know what? Josh, the deckhand too, he did a great job gaffing a lot of these tuna.
Yeah, they were coming up hot. You could see that one. Like as it hit the deck, it was still fighting. These guys were using their heavy line. They were getting the fish in quickly, and some of these fish were just angry.
I mean, you can see here there's like, I think 5 people hooked up at once, and it was just blood on the deck everywhere. I mean, these fish were not giving up easily.
Yeah, this bite was early in the night, and once it got dark, like all the way dark, first school, game on.
And also, so we had about maybe 5 stops or so between the last night when we caught all of our fish. So I've been on trips before where it's really just one stop, you hit it really good, but we were able to get on a lot of smaller schools. Is that what you'd say?
Yeah, and each school was cooperative. I mean, it all depends on the night, depends on the fish, but during this trip, the fish were cooperative. You can see some of the tangles we were talking about earlier there. And that's really just because the weather was so calm. It gave us a little bit of a problem that the lines weren't getting away from the boat and people were getting spun up on these big fish.
Yep, and I lost a couple of fish to bad tangles, and I just started being even more vocal and even more communicative, like really ahead of time. If I saw somebody wasn't quite following their line, I'd say, "Hey, come on down here," and that's totally okay to really like over communicate. It's always better to over communicate than just hope that the other person knows what's going on.
Yeah, and even on that last fish, you can see all the braid on the tail. They're all wrapped up. These guys are working together well here, though. And as the night went on, everybody got a little bit better, I thought. Maybe it was because we lost so many knife jigs, it got expensive, but
Yeah.
guys started figuring it out finally, and they got better and better.
Yep, there was some braid cut, there were some knife jigs lost. But the nice thing was, too, is that I was able to use, and most people I think were using about 300 gram. So, again, just because there really wasn't any current, you could really just get down there without having to use a 500 gram and really, work your shoulder too hard.
Yeah, like we talked about in the earlier videos, when it's beautiful weather like this, you can use those light jigs that have more action, and you're going to get down. Getting to 400 feet on this trip was absolutely no problem.
So how many did we end up with?
For bluefin, we ended up with 83 of them. The biggest one was just over 100 pounds. Most of the fish were like that 40 to 60 pound range. But we also had a really good kelp during the first day, or no, second day. We had an okay kelp the first day. The second day, we had a really good one. You can see this right here.
Yeah, we were able to take what, maybe 30 off of one kelp?
Actually, we got 56 off that kelp. We hit it
What?
9 times. It didn't really bite wide open ever. We would pick a few fish each time and pull back up to it over and over.
Yeah, it was fun fishing, just something to break up the day. Here you can see the grade. They're a little bit smaller in these shots, but we definitely had a couple of bigger ones right around like 14, 15 pounds.
Yeah, and it was just super fun because the bluefin weren't really showing during the day. You'd see a few fish here and there, but the kelp patty fishing got us through the day and led us back into that wide open night bite on the second night.